everything multiplies. Late nights, shaping who I wanna be. Sharp focus, cutting through uncertainty. No turn back, I'm locked on the climb. My heart beats, keeping perfect time. Every limit fades away when I rise and claim my way. Nothing left that makes me stray. I'm built for brighter days. Full speed, I'm chasing thunder, tearing every boundary under. Feel the rush, pull me further. I'm made to wonder. High hopes, they don't scare me now. I won't stop, don't ask me how. I'm the force that won't slow down. I'm skyward bound, bound, bound. Clear eyes, looking past the noise, strong will. Not a victim of the choice. Step up, pressure only sharpens me. Free mind, ready for the next degree. Deep breath, and I push the world aside. My path, wide open, amplified. What's ahead doesn't make me shake. I bend, I burn, I elevate. Every limit fades away when I rise and claim my way. Nothing left that makes me stray. I'm built for brighter days. Full speed, I'm chasing thunder, tearing every boundary under. Feel the rush, pull me further. I'm made to wonder. High hopes, they don't scare me now. I won't stop, don't ask me how. I'm the force that won't slow down. I'm skyward bound. I'm skyward bound. Every setback turn to flame. Every failure carve my name. I'm not playing the old game. I ascend untamed. Full speed, I'm chasing thunder, tearing every boundary under. Feel the rush, pull me further. I'm made to wonder. High hopes, they don't scare me now. I won't stop, don't ask me how.
What is up, squad? We are victorious. We are the winners, my friends. And we... What's the next part, actually? Are the champions to the end. So we got it. We got the map. I'll show it off here in just a second. More importantly, we got the promo, which is... I left it up in my room because we're going to have to do a lot of work here tomorrow morning. So I'm actually trying to clear the office right now. Yeah, 20 people set champs. It was pretty good. It was a lot of fun. Really great energy at the set champs today. Lots of fun stories to tell from today. Very just interesting. Actually, I don't know. Probably the least Kansas City set champs. There's definitely like a lot of sauce, which is pretty typical of Kansas City. But there's like a lot of pretty strong meta decks today. You know, I think like a third. It felt like a third of the room was dogs, which by a miracle I dodged all day. I think there was like 8 dogs players, and I didn't run into a single one. And in fact, what was so fascinating, like this set champs truly goes to show how much of a tournament is like destiny. Dude, how much of a tournament is this meant to be? I ate the dogs for you, dude. Our brother Sawyer, like, was doing the Lord's work. I think he said he used red purple. No. I'm a blue stealer. Do you even know map? Yeah, no. So Pwned, I played blue steel today. I actually want to toy around with more red purple. I think red purple supers and exertion and all that stuff is actually quite a lot of fun and a good time. So for the next like week or so of streaming, we'll probably be playing a lot more Infinity and just a lot more like just fun spicy sauce decks, you know. So I think more important than the list was the decisions I made today. Like today really showcased Sapphire Steel truly comes down to like how well can you pilot. Like I actually didn't hit like 246 Cinderella many of the games. You know, there's actually a fair amount of games where I missed it. I never missed ramp all day though. So to my credit, like we hit ramp all day. So Tipo sale was enough. We never had one jump ahead. And multiple of my other blue opponents did miss ramp, so which makes for some funny stories. You're going to Indy Mouth? Correct. I am going to Indy. Yep. Look at this handsome guy. Look at this handsome guy. What up, Triple B? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Isaac missed ramp for you. Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh. All right, so we got some stories to tell today. So this was the list we brought. I don't know. Should I? Do you guys want story time on like a PowerPoint slide, or do you want me to just talk? Like, do we need visual aids? Are visual aids requested? Congrats on the mat. Thank you, Zenshin. I appreciate that. It's honestly a gorgeous thing. Here, let me show it. It's definitely... They continue to get better at their mats, so props to them. Let's see. I can also... it's sweaty. The sad part is I'll probably like never use it, but you know, we got it, so that's cool. Visual aids, okay. Yeah, it was actually a really fun day of set champs. Let me pull up like a blank. Been working on a lot of I'm actually gonna try to finalize like a blue steel set champs video here. Hoping to have more time. Okay, let's see. All right, so let's do insert. All right, so round one. Let me get some like icons here. Insert. So we had this. Let me try to find like all the color combos represented today. So there's that, definitely green, yellow. No amber steel today, which is actually really interesting. Green, blue steel. Purple. There's no green, purple, I don't think. I think this is everything. Okay, so what was at our set champs today? Colors in the room. I'm trying to remember how many. So there was actually 3 blue steel, which was super fascinating. Super fascinating. 3. Okay. Close enough. There was 2 green blue, which kind of scared me. There was. Oh, let me make this smaller. Okay. There was 2 green blue. There's 1 red purple. I'm pretty sure there's 1, right? There's 2 red yellow. Oh yeah, toys. Duh. Sorry. Who was the other? There was another red yellow toys. You're right. Okay. Sorry guys. Thank you, Sawyer. This is 2. There was 1 red steel. Stories to tell about that one, because he was top 4 and he was very good, and probably was almost knocked me out of the tournament. It was just red steel. It was the red steel locations. There's a fair amount of Blurple. There was two. There's at least two. Maybe it was just two. There's one purple steel. There was one yellow. Whoa, let's calm down. There was one yellow purple. And then. And then there's just everything else was dogs. So 3 blue steel, which is very interesting. 2 blue green, 1 red purple, 2 red yellow, 1 red steel, 2 blurple, 1 blue. Am I missing anything, guys? Check out draw.io or exceldraw.com. What is that, Byron? Was that one Blurple guy there? No, no. The famous that Blurple guy was not there today. He was not there today. Oh, I'm sorry. My face is blocking these. I'll move it. There we go. Okay. All right. How many dogs were there? So we have to go backwards. So there's 3. So it's 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13. So there was 7. There's 7 dogs. 7 puppers in this freaking room. My husband ran a version of Sonic Boom with 2 skulls thrown in. He just missed top 8. Duck felt solid, but he picked one game. Was against all warded deck. Yes. So stories to tell. And this really goes to show, like, I mean, yeah, I'm kind of master of my own list, right? So I'm going to know how to navigate certain situations. So let's talk about strategizing for the day, right? Strategy. So this was the list I used, right? Now, for clarification, I was really torn on my list going into today. I was actually really stressed out about it. I was like, what? Because on duels, certain matchups were just feeling really hard, right? Dogs was hard. Winnable, but hard. Blurple really felt like a coin toss, right? And green-blue felt, again, like luck. Pure luck, right? And these are the nasty decks. Now, I knew locally one guy was going to come with green-blue, 100%. And I knew that his deck was basically green-blue ward dot deck. Like I know he's a huge fan of Milo and Merryweather. So I had a strong likelihood that was a possibility. And then I knew that a couple Blurple players were definitely going to be there. I was not anticipating that many dogs. It is extremely unusual that many people locally play dogs. And so that really took me off guard. Now, by a miracle, I literally dodged dogs all day. Now, I think I could have beaten most of the dogs players in the room. There's one dogs player that legitimately scared me. But I'm very well practiced into dogs. But it's just, they're not fun games. I don't enjoy playing them. So I really was not upset about having missed them. Now, the changes to the list I made going into today from where I was, I took out what else can I do to put in an extra Arthur. I'm like, knowing how many Blurples and blue-green are going to show up today, I honestly want more consistent answers to warded characters. And so I took Arthur to 2, up from 1. And because that would have bumped my Uninkables to 18, I bumped down What Else Can I Do, right? Which is the only song that felt like extra. But wanting to keep my song count healthy, right, I then replaced that with Let It Go. I took out one Pete. I put Moana back in. Honestly, great decision. Moana popped off. Moana had 2 games where she just went crazy with ink value that was very relevant from the discard. So yeah, Moana was good. I completely removed Vincenzo, which was the kind of, I actually think was a wise decision. Knowing how many dogs could show up, how many toy decks there were, basically being 2/8 just didn't feel relevant enough, especially when all these warded decks are coming in, causing trouble, right? I need bigger challengers, and so I went with Mrs. Incredible. I put her at 2. Mrs. Incredible was a standout. Mrs. Incredible is a standout. I don't know why I didn't run her earlier in my lists. Phenomenal. And honestly, I'm now so sold on this card. She was fun to play. She was cool to use. She disrupted a lot of steel decks, right, with the resist. And I got to board wipe at least 3 times today. with Arthur and Mrs. Incredible. Extremely relevant. And after you board wipe, you get 2-3 questers, and you can close the game in like 3 turns. So pretty scary, actually. Pretty scary. So today, so that was the tech changes. We put in 2 Mrs. Incredible. We put in 1 extra Arthur. We took out What Else Can I Do? Swapped it for a Let It Go. And then we took out all the Vincenzos. And we swapped the 4th Pete back to the 1 Moana. Could you lower or drop the music? Okay, yes. Let me in. Thank you. Is that better, Sarah? Is the music okay? Is this tolerable? Yeah. So no Vinny's was, so that was a meta call, right? When Amber Steel and Purple Steel are bigger parts of the meta, which historically my shop has a lot of Purple and Amber Steel. And because I knew there were a couple more blue, green, and blurple players coming, I specifically removed Vincenzo because he feels terrible into a warded meta. And he's like doubly bad into a warded meta because 1, he doesn't get on play value, and 2, questing with him feels really bad because he's not trading with anything, right? Because he's just too strength, right? So you kind of I needed to be able to quest and have warded characters kill themselves, right? Because that's the biggest way, that's the best way to deal with warded characters, is basically force them to trade into you, right? Don't take the bait. Right, you quest and you make it to where when they quest, they regret it. Okay, is that music volume okay? Is this okay? I wasn't playing, so you dropped Vinny. I see. Yeah. Okay, Sarah, let me know if this is too loud. So that was the big decisions. There was planning for Ward and how to play around Ward. So let's talk about the games. Hey, thank you, Mike. Appreciate you, brother. Your food. Okay, all right, food. All right. Yo, congrats! Late to the stream start. Was this your winning deck list? Correct. This was my winning deck list. This is on my Dreamborn. The Sonic Boom deck list that I won with has been updated to this. So if you want to see what my winning deck list was, just go on my Dreamborn. This is the winning list. So let's talk about the day. So this was the meta share in the room. Honestly, so the amount of dogs was very strange and uncharacteristic. Kind of interesting spread of dog lists, right? There was 1 Snowfort. It was like a dog toys, right? Dog toys Snowfort. A couple of Eleanor lists, a couple of more like standard, like maybe like 1 or 2 Chromacon, many of them running Under the Sea, right? This yellow purple was basically what we played on stream. It was an Isabella, Madrigal, damage moving, lore gaining, Louisa deck, right? So not running Raging Storm, not running Dales, right? So it's actually very interesting. And this is who I played in the finals. It was piloted by a guy named Jeremy, a good friend, a really solid dude.
Zelda 4416 just followed.
Two Angels were goated. Angel went so hard today. Honestly, that I would not have won today if not for Angel. Angel was extremely relevant. Extremely relevant. And 2 felt right. 2, I saw her when I needed to see her. I saw her when I wanted to see her. And I didn't see her when I didn't want to see her. 2 felt right. Thank you, Zelda, for the follow. I appreciate you. Yeah, thanks for watching. Okay, so 1 Purple Steel. I never ran into them. 2 Blurple. I ran into both, actually. And I destroyed them both. 1 Red Steel locations. This is a location deck. I met this player in top 4. Honestly, the hardest game. Do you have this list? I was debating on running. I don't have his list specifically. I can ask him. It's not too dissimilar from what I was running. Yo, with the sub! The set champs winning sub!
Mike just subscribed for 4 months.
All right, thank you, Mike.
Eat.
Appreciate you. Thank you for the sub, man. It means a lot. Jerps. Yo, you got your deck list to share? My chat is curious. Okay. So yeah. And then, what was I saying? Sorry, guys. So we'll talk more about this Red Steel location. I honestly want his list. It's very well done. He almost beat me. This was this was the hardest game all day. Was Red Steel locations. 2 toy decks, red yellow, 1 red purple, A very, very. We'll talk more about this. This is very funny. 2 green, blue, and then 3 blue steel, which is very fascinating. So round 1. I want someone to guess. Round 1. I'm debating what to run for set champs. I'm going with 2 events. I love blue steel and amber steel toys built. I think both of those are great, right? I think amber steel toys might have a little bit of a slightly easier time, but I think blue steel can easily get the win, as evidenced by today. Congrats. Thank you, Dr. Star. Thank you. All right, round 1. Obviously, I'm on blue steel, right? What did I play against? I want someone to take a guess. I guess I should put like a versus. So there's 5 rounds, right? We're gonna set up the day. Man, I wish I could have streamed today. It was awesome. This is top 8. This is top 4. This is finals. Three, 4, 5. Top 8. Top 4. Finals. Okay. Long day today was a grind, yeah. Dogs? Blurple? No, actually. It was a mirror. It was a mirror. Can you believe it? I did play Carson. Yes. A mirror match. Round 1. I'm like, oh, that's so funny, dude. It's so funny. So it was actually kind of, he's a teenager. He's like I don't know, 16, 17. He was young. Maybe he wasn't a teenager. He said he thought he was coming to the kids set champs. And then he's like, oh, this is not the kids set champs. He's 15. Okay. Yeah. So he's a teenager. So he was actually running like a Merida build, right? I remember him like inking 3 arrows with his sail, and I'm like, what is going on here? Is this a mirror match? There's no way. So I played an 8-year-old round 1 was super cute. Yeah. He's about to age out of kid tourney. Oh yeah. Well, you better get used to this then. Round 1 mirror. Yeah. So yeah, guessing round. Yeah, that's correct. So now he honestly played well, but it was very clear game 1 that he one, his deck list is not very optimized, and 2, I think his mulligan strategy was poor. Right. So game 1, he's on the play. Right. He won the die roll. He goes like, he ramps. He goes Mulan. He plays a 1-drop every turn. Every game, which already showed me that he didn't know the matchup. So he plays Mulan. He played like, I don't know, like Sail. And then he goes to 4 ink and plays nothing. Like literally passes. And I was like, huh, wow, that sucks. Sorry, man. And then I play Cinderella. I get my curve. He goes again. He inks nothing. So he's skipped inking this turn now. And then he just hard casts Bolt. I'm like, okay. And then I play like Aerial. Right, and then he kind of just falls apart. So I'm like, all right. So my man kind of bricked, and he showed me his hand after it. It was like triple Merida. I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate. Then game 2, I kind of just roll him over again. I looked at his list afterwards. He's running 4 Merida, 2 Mob Song, 2 Docs. Right, so it was like kind of all over the place. And so I gave him a lot of tips. Right, I was like, hey man, like Merida's great. Merida's not really a good main game plan, right? He had 2 aerials and 4 Merida, so basically the opposite of me. So I was like, Aerial, she's inkable, she's more consistent, she's harder to out. That's why I consider her my main removal engine. Merida, however, is she's good, but like I wouldn't run more than 2 to 3. She can brick you like she did just now. 2 Mob Song is unnecessary. I'd probably go down to 1. So stuff like that, right? So it was cool to do a little bit of a teaching moment for him. I shared. I didn't like advertise the channel, but. I had like multiple people at Set Champs today that'd be like, "Hey man, loved watching your videos. Yo, dude, I caught the stream the other day. That was so much fun." And so he kind of picked up I was a content creator. He's like, "Oh, do you do stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm actually a Blue Steel content creator." And your list is something that we cook up stuff all the time. If you're interested, you know, feel free to check out the list. But I feel kind of weird about like selling myself, you know, like pitching myself. Like I could be like, hey man, did you check out my deck profile? Did you check out my streams or whatever? You know, that just kind of feels weird. So I tried to bring it up only when it was natural, in which case other people were already talking about it. And so he kind of asked me first. So yeah, so we 2-0 that, right? It's pretty easy. It was like 15 minutes. He's a good kid, but yeah, it was a pretty clean 2-0. All right, round 2. Let's take a guess. Okay, round 2. What did I play against? Yes, we did play an extra game, and he actually beat me. He was on the play 3 times in a row. We played 2 of our actual games. He was on the play, and I won both times. But then on the third game, just for fun, we played on the play, and he got me. You know, he basically did 3 arrows 3 times in a row with like 2 Meritas. So, and I didn't get I didn't get Cindy on curve. So. Purple Steel, another mirror, dogs. No, we have not hit dogs yet. We play the single red purple in the room. So this was piloted by a good guy. His name is Ankit. Some of you may run into him on Duels Inc. He's Dasani Pani. Solid dude, solid player. He usually plays Blurple. His strategy was actually so fascinating. He came in specifically knowing there would be all these dogs players. So like where I was coming in not anticipating dogs, because culturally in Kansas City this is very unusual. He brought in this as a very specific meta call. And he went to a set champs Saturday, where he did the same thing. He brought this red purple. He got top 4, right? He got top 4, and he just feasted on dogs all day. And so today, yet again, he comes in, and round 1, he gets dogs, just destroys them. He is running 4 Elysas, right? Let me show you. If you guys don't know what Elisa does, or Elisa, I guess. What do you think about 3-drop Pete in the list, or the 2-cost song? 3-drop Pete, like the Steel Pete? You mean like to stop actions? I don't think it's really needed in core, personally. I tried it. I tried both. I just didn't find it very worthwhile, personally. Elisa. Yeah. So he was running 4 of this bad girl in his red purple list. 4. He's like, you are never seeing me ever. Dude, so interesting. And he basically ate dogs. He ate dogs all the way to top cut, right? So he came in with a meta call, and he made a correct meta call. I don't like dogs. You know, that's kind of I have like one list with dogs, but like I conventionally just don't really like dogs much. Yo, what up, Polio? Yo, we got our Matt today, brother. Sonic Boom. How you doing, man? Good to see you. So when he saw me, he was like, because he knows what I'm going to play, right? That's the other thing. Everyone gets a leg up on me because they know what I'm going to play. I'm very public about my lists. A lot of my locals watch my streams, right? So everyone gets free mulligan strategies against me, and I don't try to deceive anyone. Like, you know, they're like, what are you playing today? I'm like, oh, I'm playing Blue Steel. I don't even care if you know. It's okay. You know, like, you can alter your mulligan for it. It's all good. I'm used to it. It's all right. So yeah, this was a 2-0. He was like, you know, why did I have to play the Blue Steel guy as red purple? I guess he's like, let's just get this loss over with. I was like, no, man, like, I don't know, I might break or something, you know, like, he's like, nah, let's just get it over with. Would you feel like a traitor if you played anything else? I'd feel like a traitor if I didn't play at least one set champs with it first and did well with it. Yeah, historically he's always kind of been a Ruby Amethyst guy. He did like Blurple like last set or two. So he's on the play, right? So he won the die roll, if I remember correctly. Did he win the die roll? Did I win the die roll? No, he won the die roll. Yeah. Because I was on the draw first 2 games. And he honestly has a really good curve, right? Like he goes like Scrooge, not Scrooge. Yeah, he plays like Olaf, which is whatever, right? Into Scrooge, which whenever I see Scrooge on 2, I'm like, ugh. On the draw, it's always kind of scares me because if they can boost him to 5, that card is actually a major problem. Like if you can't bolt him immediately, and if you have to ever burn 2 cards for Scrooge, that Scrooge has already done his job, right? So you always want to be able to out the Scrooges before he is out of bolt range, right? Scrooge is a menace, yes. So he must be addressed before he gets out of control. And on the draw, that's harder because on the draw, you may be forced to like ink it, or you may be forced to hardcast bolt because you won't have time to establish Cinderella or Angel and sing it first, right? Before they can boost to 5. Now, if they keep boosting like that, that also kills their curve, right? So they have to kind of either accommodate for that or just be okay with not establishing other characters on curve. So he plays Scrooge, and then turn 3, he plays a second Scrooge and boosts it. I'm like, oh man, double Scrooge is not good. What did I end up doing? I ended up, I had an okay, I actually don't really remember game 1 much. I had like an okay curve, right? I had Cinderella. I played Tinkerbell, I think, if I remember correctly. And then, what did I do? Man, I do not remember game 1 as much. Yeah. So I established Tinkerbell, and because he did Isis, and he killed my Cinderella, right? Which is another problem on the draw. So Isis answered Cinderella immediately. I did not get to sing Bolt, but that also means he didn't boost his Scrooges again, right? So then I hard played Tinkerbell, which killed one Scrooge because that Scrooge did not get to boost, and he challenged Cinderella. And so he had 1 damage left. So Tinkerbell cleared his Olaf and the Scrooge just by playing, right? So Tinkerbell goaded as usual. Hey, what's your thoughts on blue-green for set champs? I brought it today. I felt like I didn't misplay at all, but lost a purple amber burn. And blue-green is a good meta call if you're expecting lots of blurple and mid-range, like blue steel and stuff. However, if you run into those aggro matchups, like you said, like if you hit dogs and they just hit the nuts, or if you run into a burn deck, you will auto lose. Like there's just like, and that's the sacrifice for playing blue-green. Like blue-green's early game control is so poor or so predictable that they just don't handle that stuff very well. But I mean, if you're expecting a lot of mid-range and control decks, blue-green is very, very, very strong, in my opinion. Sometimes you can tech, like if you know, a stronger emphasis on Merryweathers, or even like do a few like maybe like actual relevant 1-drops, right? Like Basil or something, but that's kind of extra, right? And kind of expensive. So game 1, after Tinkerbell, what did I do? I played, because I had Mrs. Incredible and Arthur in my hand. So I played Mrs. Incredible, and that was actually kind of weird for him because he wasn't hitting any of his draw cards, right? He didn't hit any of his Dumbos. He didn't hit his Demonas, right? So he kind of just spent all of his hand to control my board, right? But now he's like kind of just top decking. So he's kind of just got this like Isis and Scrooge. And I can't remember what he played. He played like something else. That's kind of just chilling now. Cause Mrs. Incredible like makes things awkward. Oh, no. That's right. So he, I can't remember what he did, but he killed, I think he, I don't know. I can't remember. Doesn't matter. Because next turn I Arthured, the Mrs. Incredible and clears board. And he was like, wait, hold on. What's that do again? I'm like, yeah. So like this. And then he's like, oh, huh. Okay. And then I basically just quested for game, right? He just couldn't keep up. Game 2 was close to the same thing, except I had to hard cast Bolt on Scrooge, and then I played like a Namari or Pete or something. And then I like Tinkerbell's into Ariel, and then right. So it was more awkward, right? And I think a less skilled blue steel player would have really struggled. But you know, I kind of accommodated and adjusted appropriately, and you know, we got it. So yeah, red purple. I mean, red purple is an easy matchup, right? Like they have to have a a perfect curve, right? They have to, like, everything has to go right and everything has to go wrong for me. If you really know what you're doing as blue steel, like a skilled blue steel player should beat the large majority of skilled red purple players, regardless of the build. Especially if you're running an aerial variant. So I'm feeling pretty hot now, right? Like we've gone 2 rounds, we've dodged dogs, right? We've dodged blue green. We're feeling good, Round 3, we finally hit a nasty deck. Round 3, we hit Blurple. This is being piloted by a guy named Jeff. He's a good dude. And this game, oh man, dude, I felt bad. So I finally win a die roll, so I get to go first. And I'm looking at my hand. It's kind of interesting, right? In my hand, I have like Tipo, I have Cindy, so I have my curve, right? I have Merida, right? And I have a Beyond, or I have a Bolt. Did I have a Beyond? Not yet. But I have a Bolt. Now, I've kind of been changing my play against Blurple, where I've actually like been much more privy to ink the Bolt. If I get a sense that they will always play Merryweather and prioritize Merryweather first, then I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'll just ink the Bolt with the Cindy trigger, right? Because Cindy's gonna die to Elsa or something, especially on the draw, right? So you just kind of like, you know, Bolt's gonna break your hand. You're not getting value from it until like way later with Ariel and Merida. Just get it out of your hand. It's fine. You know, like the days of bolting genies are behind us. Even though I think Genie's actually still very relevant, but you know, Blurple doesn't think so. And then, you know, you kind of just hope for that they play like a Cheshire or Dumbo on 4 or like a Tigger, and then you just kind of, then you can get a good Bolt target, but most of the time they're like gunning for Merryweather these days. Especially if they know you're on blue steel. So, but he goes, right? He inks and passes. I'm like, okay, that's good. I ink and pass. He inks and passes. And I was like, oh no, my brother has missed ramp. Unfortunate. I ramp, I Tipo. He goes, he plays Cheshire Hardcast. I'm on the play. I'm sorry. So I ink, he inks. I Tipo, he inks, passes. I Cindy, right? So I'm now at 5 ink. He inks to 3, plays Cheshire Cat. Unfortunate, right? And that's right. I'm thinking of another game for the first time. So I kept Bolt because I knew that his only reasonable play is to hard play Cheshire Cat on 3, which is actually still a really solid play. So I kept Bolt. I have a Merida and I have a Beyond the Horizon, which I'm like, oh man, if I get to sing this Beyond the Horizon when he's missed ramp, this is just gonna be game over. And so so it's my turn. I sing the Bolt. I kill the Cheshire Cat. I play Merida. I ink nothing, right? Because I'm just going to get a princess trigger, right? Be optimal with my hand. Don't need to ink. I quest with Tipo, blah, blah, blah. His turn goes... What does he play? Does he play Merryweather here? I can't remember. I think he does. I think he plays Merryweather. That's kind of irrelevant. Because he inked to 4. So he's now on 4 ink. Plays the Merryweather. He's got like 5 cards in hand or something. 5 or 6. It's my turn. I ink. What do I play? I play something. I can't remember. It really didn't matter because I played something. It may have been like a Pete, and I sing Beyond the Horizon, right? And so this Blurple player is on 4 ink, right? I'm now at 6, going to 7, and on this Beyond, I discard 5 cards. And he lost 3 7-drop Hadeses in this Beyond. 3 of his blue Hadeses lost to this Beyond. And he's stuck on 4 ink. He's just like, well, game 2. We played like 2 more turns, but it didn't matter. Like, you know, he was cooked. Oh my gosh. You hate to do it to him like that. Game 2 was a really good game. He was on the play. And that's where I played Cindy and I inked the Bolt. I'm like, he's got Merryweather. He's just going to Elsa me. It's not even worth bothering. I have Tinkerbell. So a really good response to Merryweather Elsa is Tinkerbell. Because usually you can then clear their like support. Like, you know, oftentimes they have Basil or Fauna or whatever. And then that gets Merryweather and Tinkerbell to like pretty nasty damage range to where you can make easier, efficient trades to get rid of them. So yeah, like, you know, anyway, that was a game where I played Arthur. I played Mrs. Incredible and then Arthur'd. And then Mrs. Incredible cleared a readied Hades and a readied Merryweather. He had 2 evasives though, so I didn't get to clear those. I didn't have like song follow-ups. But then later I drew them, and then it was very back and forth, honestly. It was very down to the wire. He was at 19 lore, and I kept him stuck at 19 for 2 turns. But by this point, I'd established all my setup, right? Like I had Mrs. Incredible protecting everything. Or no, she died by this point. I had Arthur, I had Ariel, I had Moana, I had a Pete that was just like gaining slow value, finding my answers. I had Namari, and I'd been able to answer like all of his stuff, and he's stuck on 19. Because he finally ran out of draw cards. And so, yeah, you know, it was a very close game, but it was good. All right. Round 4 is the funniest, right? So it was 2-0. It was 2-0. So we go into round 4, and I'm 3-0, meaning that like conventionally, I just want to draw, right? Like I want to draw this round. I want to guarantee top cut. The only reason you play out round 4 to win is if you really care about being top seed, like on the play through top cut, which is relevant, right? That can make a big difference. But like, you know, if you care more about just getting into top cut, you just kind of draw and just see where the stuff plays out, right? And you know, I know I'm like really high seed, if not top seed or whatever. But I actually down. So there's only 3 undefeateds in the room, and me being one of them. And I actually, I'm the one that downgraded or whatever, downsized. I don't know what it's called. Yo, what up, Nick? We got it. The easiest set gems of my life. But anyway, so it's Blurple again. So it's the second Blurple player in the room. So it's a guy named Jason. He's a really solid dude. Really, really good guy. He actually has a Continentals invite because he got top 32 at DLC Milwaukee. Back in set 9 on Blurple, right? So he's kind of a Blurple specialist. He knows the colors very well. He loves Blurple. He's practicing green yellow dogs for Infinity. So got the down pair. Thank you. The down pair. So yeah. So yeah. So he is right at this point. He is 2-1. I am 3-0, right? And this round 4, right? So I'm nearly guaranteed top cut, right? I'd have to mess up pretty bad. So I offer him the draw, and I know that is a risky decision for him. There's 3 undefeateds, meaning that if he goes 3-1-1, meaning 3 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, he'll be at 10 points. He is essentially guaranteed top cut, right? Now, what that means, though, is that if I give him the draw, he has to win round 5. Has to. And what I'm essentially communicating is, do you think you can beat me, or do you think you can beat whoever comes after me, right? Who do you think you have a better chance against? Because I am willing to offer you the draw. You will never get this chance again, right? But that simply means, are you more confident against me or some other person in the room, right? I like Jason. He's a good dude, right? And so I offer him, like, hey, man, do you want to take the draw? It's the risky decision for you. No pressure, right? And he goes, oh, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it'll play out? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not the greatest at this tournament math stuff. I think you'll have a good chance. You just need to win the game after me, right? And he's like, oh, you know what? We'll just play it out. I'm like, okay. That's totally cool. You know, I'm here to play Lorcana at the end of the day. It's all good. We sit down, right? And I'm feeling good, right? I'm already feeling like today's my day, you know? Like I'm feeling, when you got that energy in you, right? When you just, yeah, he just wants good practice. Exactly. And he's like, you know, it's been so long since we've played together. We really just owe each other some games. I'm like, you're right. Because the last time we played against each other was Fabled Set Champs, where I also beat him as Blue Steel. This is when I ran rat behavior, like Ratigan and stuff. And I beat his Blurple back in Fabled. So I'm feeling hot. We roll the dice. My man, he's lost every die roll today. So unfortunate. And he loses again. I finally get to win a die roll. Actually, I was on the play in round 3 as well. So that's 2 die roll wins. I win the die roll, right? And I look him in the eyes. I win the die roll, okay? And I'm like, Jason, I like in my head, I like Jason. I'd love to have Jason. I'd love to see Jason in the top cut. So I look at him again. I'm like, Jason, would you like to draw? Because that would technically be, because the rules are, you can offer to draw during the match, but you can't like do it over, like you can't like do it again, right? Like, it's like it's not something you can, but you can draw at any time, right? In a match, right? There's no whatever, right? You can concede or draw whenever. So I offer him the draw. When I win the die roll, right? I'm like, here's your out. And he's like, no, we'll play it out. I'm like, all right, sounds good. Let's play some Lorcana. It was the fastest 2-0 of his life, dude. Oh my, I felt so bad. He, so I'm on the play and he misses ramp. No, he doesn't miss ramp. I just high roll. Like I got my, like, on the play. I just destroy him, right? It's unfortunate, right? I got everything I wanted. Everything shaped out exactly as it needed to. He's on the play game 2. He misses ramp, dude. He misses ramp and just spams out a bunch of 1-drops. Like, his hand is nothing but like 1-drops. So he goes like Rafiki, Fauna. He's at 3 ink with like 2 cards in hand. I'm like, dude, like, you all should just be inking these. Like you don't even have enough ink to get to your end game at this point. Like, what? This is horrible. And then I play this Tinkerbell. I basically clear his board with a single Tinkerbell. And so he's stuck on 4 ink top decking. It's like, oh my gosh. I feel so bad. It was rough. And then round 5. Okay, funny enough. Okay, technically I paired into dogs. So this is a very, very strong regional player. He's on Sunflower Lumineers. His name's Gabe. He's, in my opinion, he was the scariest player in the room. And I knew that of the dogs players, he's probably easily the scariest that I would have to face. And I knew I'd probably have to face him at some point. So we were both, so I was top seed, he was number 2. So we pair into each other and we just draw, right? So, because we both wanted dinner and there's no reason for us to play. So we draw. Top 8. I finally faced the dreaded green-blue. I was pretty nervous about this. I was pretty nervous. I was like, oh man, dude, green-blue, this is tough. This is the one matchup that really, really feels, 1, unfavored, but 2, just kind of coin tossy. But I made the specific changes for this matchup because I knew I'd probably hit at least 1. And Arthur was absolute king, dude. Arthur and Mrs. Incredible. Mrs. Incredible actually board cleared. She cleared a Merryweather Kita. Now his build is really fascinating. He hard committed on ward. Hard committed. The only characters in his deck not warded were Clarabelle's and the 9-drop Philip. He didn't even run Cinderella's. He ran Kita's, 4-drop Kita, Merryweather's. If I remember correctly, there's some Scuttles, and Milo Thatches. It was like 80% ward. Like, this is basically the counter deck to my deck, right? But sometimes you got to put on your old big brain cap. Yeah, Jonathan, my man, it's a scary deck, and he knows how to pilot it. He played very well, honestly. Game 1 on the play, I had just a really good strong curve, and I just quested aggressively. I answered to stuff when I needed to. I never let him Clarabelle shift all 3 games, right? I disrupted it every single time. And I knew that once I recognized after game 1, I'm like, I don't think he's on any Cinderellas. Like, there was one turn when he played 2 Kitas. And I'm like, I don't think he's on any Cinderellas. There's no way. And if he's not on Cinderellas, that means if you take out the Clarabelle at any point, he's so far off from the shift because he can't like Cinderella and then like ink to 5 and then like play shift it, right? Which is like a backup shift plan. Kita's too slow for that. So that means like even one game I played Angel and discarded and took out the Clarabelle while I was on the draw. And that was only possible to be like a relevant play because he's not running Cinderella. So that was kind of like a knowledge thing for me. But so game 1, I bop him and I get the Mrs. Incredible board wipe. Game 2 was very close. And honestly, I was so annoyed I lost because I felt like I just outplayed him. But he had a really good couple endgame plays, and basically he just knows how to use Milo Thatch's triggers. And he had a really clutch last minute Phillip. And so he won by exactly 1 lore when it was relevant. And I just needed to top deck a character, like any character, like single lore. I needed a single lore. And I top decked a Let It Go because we were both top decking. And so I was like, well, crap, I can't let it go Milo. So GG. Game 3, I had a really, really solid opener. And he basically entered top deck mode very fast. Like I answered Clarabelle and he just kind of inked the big Clarabelle. He's like, I'm never going to get to this because I got my hand down to like 1. And it was using a Pete to strategically gain advantage. He had a bunch of like Kitas that I keep having to chew through. But eventually it got to the point where he just had nothing really on board and my Pete was getting out of control. And I was just able to answer whatever he threw down. And I had 2 Arthurs saved. Like literally I just had Arthurs ready. Milo's such a menace. Yes, 100%. That's why I ran 2 Arthurs today. This was my list today, Napoleon. 2 Arthur, 2 Mrs. Incredible, specifically for that demon matchup. And the 2 Arthur basically won game 3. Like I had 2 Arthurs in hand. And I popped a Milo and I popped a Meriwether. Dude, Arthur just did the dirty. And then he's questing for 3. And they just don't have enough time. So, extremely relevant. Top 4, I play against Red Steel Locations. Now, this was piloted by a player named Will. Very, very good player. Very smart. Very, very smart player. It's clear that whatever list he makes, he's going to be deadly with. So, yeah, this was a 2-1. And remember, in Top Cut, I'm number 1 seed, right? So I'm going a number 1 seed. Because I went like completely undefeated. And I even won round 4. And so I'm on the play all the way through Top Cut, which I think is pretty relevant. This was hard. This was legitimately, he was on a tear. Like no one was prepared for a list like this Red Steel Locations list. And he played so well and so smart. The Beast with Rush, right? Docs moving to mines and popping dogs and stuff. Fergus popping off. Really good use of Jack, right? And so game 1, I'm on the play. I'm like, okay, this is not going to be an easy game, but I should win this, right? Like, Ariel doesn't get as much value, all this other stuff. Namari is going to be a huge card, right? I have all the ways to deal with locations. And he's not questing. He's not actually questing that fast, right? So yeah. And game 1, I made a very crucial couple bad decisions where I had a bolt, but I did hit Cindy all 3 games against Red Steel. Like I kept finding Angel, and I'm like, okay, well I guess I'm playing Angel. Game 1, I play Angel after Tipo, and so my hand is really small already, so I can't really afford to discard a lot. I do have a Goliath saved to get to. But I also had like a Tinkerbell and a Namari. And I'm like, oh man, I really don't want to ink this Namari because Namari is so important for getting rid of locations. Like she reaches a point where she one-shots locations, right? So she's so efficient. So I kind of like, to me, I'm like, I was very much valuing Namari. I had a Bolt and I inked the Bolt with Tipo and I immediately regretted it. And when I played Namari for the first time, she found a Strength of a Raging Fire and I discarded it. I'm like, I don't think that's all that relevant right now. I want to keep my Tinkerbell and my Goliath. I think the crucial mistake I made, because he played a Jack, 4/4, 4 cost 4/4. My turn goes, Namari activates, finds another strength. I have Tipo, Cinderella, Namari, and I have Tinkerbell and Goliath in hand. I have 5 ink, meaning that, yes, Rara, I did win, thank you. Meaning that I can either ink Tinkerbell and play Goliath, right? Or I can ink, ink whatever, play Goliath, sing Strength. Right? Basically, I can't. And he had a Tinkerbell 1-drop, a Mulan 1-drop on board, so a bunch of 1 willpower characters. And I think I baited myself with value. Because I'm like, well, Tinkerbell clears 2 characters for free. And, watching his earlier games, he missed Jack triggers every single game. Like, he never got off where Jack looks at the top card of your deck at the beginning of your turn. If he reveals a location, you banish a character. He's missed it every time. I'm like, what are the odds, right? What are the odds he's going to hit a location? So I play Tinkerbell. I discard Strength. So Jack is alive. I pass. Jack trigger. He hits a location. Pops the, Pops the Tinkerbell. And then he trades into my Namari with a Scrooge or whatever. Basically, I just kind of lose the game because it falls apart. I play Goliath next turn. Jack trigger again. Location. Pops Goliath. And I literally just go, all right, game 2. Just that's it. I've seen enough. I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm not even going to stress out about this. Game 2. And I learned right there that Jack is kill on sight. And in fact, I will not use Bolt until I see a Jack. Jack is, even if it's all luck based, it's too efficient. And one of the only ways I beat a deck like a Red Steel Locations deck is because my characters are so big and so beefy that I can one-shot locations with Goliath, with Pete, with Namari, with Mrs. Incredible, right? I can one-shot a lot of his locations, and him trading into me is very inefficient, right? Like Doc and Dwarf Mind Triggers and, all these little baby characters, they actually do not trade into me efficiently, right? And so something like Jack completely upsets that. I took this, Sonic Boom. So it's the... Oh, whoops, did I exit out of it? I'm sorry. There you go. That's what I took. It's on Dreamborn as well. So let me punch the Dreamborn link. I made some interesting tech choices. Put 2 Miss Incredible and I bumped Arthur to 2, which I think was a correct meta call. So that was kind of a meta call. All right. So game 1 he wins, and I was on the play, and he's on the draw. So this was we just drew. Yeah. We just said all right, we'll both take 1 point. We didn't play it out. How did Merida do? Merida honestly wasn't very relevant most of the day. She popped off in 1 game. She wasn't irrelevant, right? Merida was fine. But I didn't win any games with Merida. Honestly, standouts: Mrs. Incredible, Arthur, Ariel, Moana. The one of Moana, I put her back in, and Angel. So Mrs. Incredible, Arthur, Moana, Angel, and Ariel, MVPs today. Namari did a good job too. Merida honestly felt the least relevant today, but I also think I played a lot of matchups where she wasn't very relevant. So, but there was one game where I played Merida and I did 3 arrows and strength, and I cleared a board, and that math was only possible because of Merida. So Merida did win a Blurple game. So game 2, I learned my lesson, right? And I had honestly a pretty bad hand. I did Sail and then Tipo Sail into a fast Goliath, right? So I had no Cinderella again. I just couldn't hit Cinderella for the life of me. So I got to 7 ink with all that aggressive inking and play Goliath. I had 1 bolt in hand, and he had a Scrooge, and he's going to 4 ink. He's going to 4 ink, right? And I'm like, do it. Play the Jack. I know you've been holding it. I know you. I know you're too smart for this. I know that you know that if you don't establish Jack and clear my big characters, that you will lose this. I know you know that. So do the thing. He plays Jack. I'm like, yes, excellent. And because at the end of my turn, I played Goliath. I had 1 bolt, and Goliath trigger activated. I drew a 2nd bolt. And I'm like, why? But it actually ended up okay, because it actually ended up perfect. He plays Jack Jack. He passes to me. I just wanted to draw any inkable, right? Because I'm at 7 ink. I drew something. Actually, I think it was a Namari, which is really unfortunate. I drew a Namari. I'm like, well, sorry, Namari. Another time, I ink Namari. I go to 8 ink. Pay 4, I bolt Jack Jack. Pay 4, I bolt Scrooge. Goliath swing, take out a location. He's now got like 1 location and I don't know, something else on board. And then from there, I just built up my big characters. And once Jack Jack was dealt with, right, like everything else was like really didn't matter. And then like my characters were so big, I was just one-shot locations. And he got to the point where he just was playing locations, they would die, and then he had like nothing else. And then once I established Ariel, like his characters never survived again. Could you pull up Jack Jack? Yes. Let me pull up Jack Jack. So game 3. So we now both have a good idea of what's going on, right? Okay, so Jack Jack. There we go. So at the start of your turn, reveal the top card and put it into the discard. If it's a character, he gets +2 strength. If it's an action or item, he gets +2 lore. If it's a location, you just banish a character. So yeah, pretty good removal when you're running like 16 to 20 locations. So anyway, so we're now 1-1. I'm on the draw in the last game. I'm like, oh my gosh, no, dude. No, dude, I'm on the draw against this red steel locations list. And honestly, we played like an absolute god. We played so smart. I leveled up and transcended. We had this crazy turn where he again, like I again, like no Cinderella. I'm like, come on, man. And I get to Angel, and I have 2 bolts in hand because this time I kept bolt. I literally kept bolt in the mulligan, right? Like I had bolt in opening hand and a turn 2 ramp. I'm like, I'm keeping bolt. I'm keeping this. It was like a sail or something. I don't know. Keeping this, right? Like this bolt. I like Jack Jack dies on sight, right? I'll figure everything else out, but like that has to happen. So I get to Angel. I play Angel. And I learned my lesson from game 1 on how to use Angel and what was actually a threat, right? So I bided my time. He's like got like a Castle Wyvern and a Tinkerbell. It's like this, you know, like a 1-drop Ruby Tinkerbell, 3/1, right? I'm like whatever, you know, quest, sure, get your lore. It's not a big. I don't care, right? As long as he doesn't get to like 15 lore, like I'm okay. You know, everything else I can catch up with because locations is actually not that hard to deal with once you build up enough bodies, right? You can answer it like every turn. He gets to Scrooge and Jack Jack again, right? And what I do is I sing with Angel, I kill Jack Jack with 1 bolt. And I drew another bolt. I hard cast bolt and I take out the Scrooge. And then I discard with Angel, I discarded an Ariel and I killed this Tinkerbell at Castle Wyvern. He's like, well, it's got resist. Well, I was like, well, I'm doing 2 damage. So I do 1 damage, so she still dies. Which means at the end of this turn, he only has a single Castle Wyvern left. He's got like 1, maybe like 1 card in hand. So he's drawing up to 2. And I have like 2 cards in hand or something. It gets to the point where I end up establishing like a Pete, right? And I ink my Goliath. I establish Pete. I ink my Goliath. I establish a Namari, right? So like the location Doomsday characters. And I ink Goliath. I'm like, I don't want him drawing. I think I could do okay, but in this particular situation, I very much enjoy the fact that he's top decking. And as long as he doesn't hit a chain of docks, I think I just win this because I now have established enough bodies to where if he just keeps top decking locations, I just one-shot them and I play another body and then he will just lose. And I know this because I've played location lists and I know how it feels when you load your deck with so many locations and you reach a point where if you're just top decking locations, if they have character advantage, you cannot win because your locations, you can't build up enough critical mass. Do you have this guy's deck list? I don't. I want to try to get it because it was actually great. As I said, he got to top 4. He smoked a bunch of people. And I think it's a lot of it, like, people didn't understand how to play against a deck like this. Thankfully, on the Malferon stream, we cook all the time, so we play silliness like locations. I like understand locations really well. No Challenger 2 with the Bolt. No, we never got like what's it called, Deity Challenger value, but that's okay. You know, like, everything in his deck basically died to Bolt. The only thing that survived was Fergus, but he never got the chance to get to Fergus against me. I put too much pressure on, and so yeah, basically I kept him at a point where he was top decking, but and so was I, but I had a Pete that I got to keep established. And I got to the point where I got enough bodies to where Pete could keep questing, get infinite answers, and then my other characters dealt with locations as they came down. And he didn't find the dock when he needed it, and yeah, he top decked for like 4 turns, and then it was just game over. So I got him stuck at like 15, I think, something like that. So it was a 2-1, very close. Honestly, the hardest match all day. I really had to like really think, and I had to completely change my mulligan strategy. And I had to like really, I had to work with like suboptimal hands too. Like I never got Cinderella, so we had to play really smart. And it felt a lot like playing against dogs. Like I had to do like angel curves, and it's also why I play so many 5-drops, because of curves like that. So very interesting. The finals was against Yellow Purple, my boy Jeremy, running a Madrigal Flinger Dinger style deck. And he actually beat the really good dogs player that entered top 8. So only a single dogs got into top 8 from the 7 that were in the room, right? Which is kind of interesting. And so on Yellow Purple Madrigals, he beat like the best dogs player in the room, which is so funny to me. So funny. What was I saying? Yeah, so that was a pretty fast 2-0. I felt bad for, you know, like, he's my boy. He's a good friend, right? I think he kind of knew that this was going to be a stomp, because he was playing so greedy. He had no Raging Storm. He had no Dale. He basically had no way to deal with my board, and he like was just hoping Louisa could get value. Or his Dumbos could run away with things. Mob Song was amazing. Mob Song won one of the games where I cleared 2 Dumbos and an Elsa, which was great. But once I kind of realized, I still played like he had Raging Storm, because if I ever overcommitted, it would have been devastating. But I think I like was a little too cautious, because I kind of realized halfway through game 2, I won game 1 pretty handedly on the play. I had a really good curve, but game 2 I was like, I don't think he's on Storm. Yo, Jeremy, 100% knew my fate. Yeah, he knew, and I was like, I guess I'll just like do all this other stuff and da 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 da. And at the end of it all, I was like, Jeremy, are you even on Storm? He's like, nah, I was playing greedy, dude. I was like, oh, okay. So this was just a game over matchup. This is like a matchup you just didn't want to see, piloted by me. So. I cleared dogs. Yeah, dude, seriously. Like, honestly, look at this. We didn't play against dogs all day. And that's because the squad, dude. Jeremy, I'm Keith. Dude, like, the boys and Sawyer, dude, on Red Yellow Toys, the boys went to town and feasted on dogs for me, dude. And I kept running into the dog killers. Like, I kept running into the people who made that meta call. But, as is always true, those decks crumble against blue steel. So it really just goes to show how much of like tournaments is like matchups and, you know, play versus draw and, you know, blah, 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 blah. You know, there's so much that goes in tournaments more than just a list and more than just skill. Obviously you have to like know how to bring it all home, but so it was a fun day. It was a good day. I really, really, really was not expecting to win. I wasn't like feeling good coming in. I don't know. Like there's something awful. I was like, I don't know, man. I just, but I feel like I played well, and it was a fun day. It was a good day. Did the Purple Steel just get stomped? I don't know. I don't know how she did. She didn't enter Top Cut, but I don't know if she, I don't know how she did. She was very aggro heavy, but she likes to play aggro. She usually plays Amber Steel, so Purple Steel. But she knows how to play Purple Steel too, you know. So she's pretty apt at aggro. If everything is obliterated, there's no damage to move. Basically, that's basically what happened. Aggro won the first one I went to. Yo, let's go. So first set champs yesterday in the KC area was actually won by red purple Flingerdingers. But he's like a Flingerdingers expert, dude. Like he does it. He wins set champs every set with that deck. And he basically just tries to dodge me because I've met him every single set champs he runs into me. He just like that's the round he loses, or he like loses top cut. So he kind of just like goes to set champs where I'm not. He's a good dude. He's very skilled. He plays like red, purple, and aggro lists. And knocked on top 4 by blue green. Yeah. As I said, like blue green, this was very close. And I think very specifically my tech calls won this for today. So I feel pretty proud about that meta call. Reds, this was hard. This was way harder than it should have been. But I think that's because this list was really carried by a very skilled player. And then this was just a rough matchup. Jeremy is extremely skilled. You'll never hear me talk trash on my boy. Last time we met in finals, he bopped me. The top deck goat of the century. That was actually just a really fun finals too, back in set 8. It was really epic. So GG's. It's a good day. Sometimes you don't know, but then it just happens. Let's see. Did you already talk about your dog matchup and what line to go for? I did not. If you guys want to talk about matchup breakdowns, I'm open to doing that stuff. I think today I was mostly gonna have it be like a pretty chill day. I played a lot of Lorcana today. I played a lot of Blue Steel today. We played well. We got our mat. We got our promo. That's 2 set champs now where I walk in and I just walk out with a mat, right? Like 1 shot, 1 kill, 007 style. So that feels pretty good. It's like, wow, okay. Yeah, I think it's fair to say that I am a very legitimate threat in my local area, right? Like I think people like hyped me up for a little bit. I'm like, no. I think like now I'm like, okay, maybe I am a force to be reckoned with on this silly color combo. So if a person only just a baller and a shot caller, happy for you, you appreciate you, Nick. Did you get to play in one yet, Nick? If a person only has but yeah, the 2 Miss Incredibles goated, 2 Arthurs goated, like highly recommend. If a person only has 1 Miss Incredible and no Moanas, are there any viable replacements? Oh yeah, for sure. Like Moana could be anything. Like Moana's kind of a sauce card, right? Yo! C-Nut with the primo.
Knut51 just subscribed with Prime.
Thank you for the Prime, man. I appreciate that a lot. That means a lot. Thank you. 10th at 3-2. Ugh. What happened? Comfortable sitting at the bottom? Nah, Byron, I feel like if you went hard in the paint, I think you have all the skills to do very well. I really do. I truly mean that. Lost a green with Snowfort Dogs. Yep. There was 1 Snowfort Dogs in the room, and I'm glad I dodged them because I think I would have lost. Yeah, and again, I think green blue is kind of a crapshoot. I think green blue. Again, I was on the play. Very relevant. Oh, nice. We hit our sub goal, evidently. I didn't know that was a thing. Cool. Let's see. Well, yeah. So Moana's nice in that like Moana helps you with situations where you just established Goliath, right? One, she's an interesting high roll off of Cinderella. You don't really get to get away with that as much anymore as Blue Steel anyway. But after Goliath, she allows you to where if you draw multiple cards you actually want to play, right? Like you play, like let's say you draw Ariel, you want to play Ariel, you want to play that strength you just drew, but you also don't want to ink your other card. Like let's say it's a, I don't know, all right, let's say it's a Hades. Let's say you can't ink that card. So Moana continues to unlock like the aerial curves smoother, right? And is a really nice value engine from that perspective. But she's really not worth more than 1 in Blue Steel, right? Like I think she's a pure tech card, pure sauce card. So However, what you can replace her with, so basically any of the 5 drops. I would just do Pete, right? So you can do a 4th Pete. We did that for a little while. That was totally fine. You can do a 3rd Namari, right? I don't know if I do 3rd Merida. I think 2 Merida is where she's best at. I think 2 Merida feels good in the Sonic Boom list. Other 5 drops, right? You could, if you want like a challenger body to deal with evasives, you could do the Jasmine, 5-drop Jasmine. All you guys just put in Plutos, right? Or Donald, right? Item removal, right? So if you want to like tech for items, which again, today, items was not relevant at all today. So I'm glad I did not put in item removal tech. So that's all. No, Jeff! What up, dog? I gotta like ask him for that red steel deck list. Sarah, do you know, did he send it to you yet? Yeah. 4th P was out. Yeah, I agree. I think just do 4th P. So it's actually one of the reasons I wanted to run Pluto, was for that lore gain. It is kind of clunky, right? Like it's hard to establish Pluto, Mrs. Incredible, and then Arthur, without either they're sleeping or they have no removal, and you would have won probably anyway, right? So like it's kind of hard to get that set up and have them do nothing to deal with that, right? Not that it doesn't happen, but it's kind of like unusual, right? I only have 1 Miss Incredible. What can I do in place of second? Yeah, I mean, you could just do like a Vincenzo, right? Honestly, you could just fill in any other slot, right? So I took out my Vincenzos for Mrs. Incredible. So if you only have 1 Miss Incredible, then I'd probably, you could just do like 1 Arthur, 1 Miss Incredible, and 2 Vincenzos. That's fine. If you're expecting more reward, then I would swap in back to 2 King Arthurs. You could also just do like another Hades. That's fine. I would try to keep the Uninkables at 17 or less. I would not go to 18. 16 to 17 is like the magic number for me. Is Let It Go making up for the less Hades? Yeah, so I usually run 3. Like anyone that knows my lists, I'm a big 3 Let It Go kind of guy. The only reason I went to 4 today is I dropped What Else Can I Do? Which I love What Else Can I Do? But again, like I knew I wanted to run a second Arthur. And I was initially tempted to cut the Hades. But Hades does a specific other job, right? Hades is a Philip answer. Hades is a reverse Hades answer. Hades is a Demona answer, right? Hades is meant for very specific situations that almost no other card can do. And he establishes a body, right? So I did not feel comfortable. And honestly, he won me a game. He won me one very definitive game today. So, 2 Hades feels perfect. And it's hard to replace his job right now. Arthur, also, they all do things differently. But I would say that, like, if you only have 1 Miss Incredible, you could do 1 Mrs., 1 King Arthur, and then 2 Vincenzo. That's totally fine. That's where I was sitting for a little while. And that felt good. Yeah. I mean, Vincenzo's a great card, right? Like, I'll never talk smack on Vincenzo. Again, I specifically took out Vincenzo today to have 2 Misses and 2 King Arthur. Specifically because I was expecting a lot of green, blue, and blurple with heavy ward, right? So this was a meta call, and it was the right meta call. Yeah, that's fine. Triple B. I mean, like someone else in the Discord, the 20 Lord Discord, I mean, they ran no Hades. They ran 2 Arthurs and Misses, and they were fine, right? So I'd say, especially if you're running like 4 Let It Goes, I think. I don't know. You could probably get away with no Hades. 2's felt toasty. So, forfeit at turn 3. That's what I'm talking about, Barra. That's that champion energy. I didn't run any set 12 cards. Sometimes, Jeff, sometimes you're just built different. Sometimes you just walk in with boosties and then you come out the winner. If you put in another Arthur or Hades, that would make the unink above 17. Yeah. So I mean, I would. Basically, I would keep your uninkable 7 cost characters. I would keep it at 4. What you do with that 4 count, you figure it out. Do you do 3 Hades, 1 Arthur? Do you do 2 Hades, 2 Arthur? Do you do 2 Hades and 1 Arthur and keep it at 3, right? But I would pretend that the 7 cost uninkable is not allowed to go more than 4. Okay. So that's what I'd recommend. So this was an interesting discussion about one-ofs, right? Anyone that watches me or sees my list, you'll notice a lot of two-ofs and one-ofs, right? And people are like, Mouth, that's bad. Well, I disagree. The way I think of the way I think of cards in your deck. This was taught to me by somebody. I really can't remember who, but ever since I've gone by this, and it's honestly reigned pretty true for me, right? So why do you run 4 of a card, right? So 4x of a card equals I want to see this in opening hand consistently, right? That is what 4x of a card means. Okay. 3x of a card equals I want to see this every game, but not necessarily has to be an opening hand. Okay. 2x of a card equals helpful to the game plan, but not required, and is winnable without it. 1x of a card equals strong for specific situations, but not required to win, helpful to the general game plan. Answers specific problems or gains specific advantages, but not required to win. This is how I think of deck building. So 4 of a card is I want to see this consistently. I have required. I want to see this every game, and crucial to the game plan. And crucial to the game plan, right? So 4x of a card is, this is a card you want to see in your opening hand, and is something you need to see every game. 3x of a card is, you want to see it every game. It doesn't have to be in your hand, your opening hand. I think this is where people overvalue 4x of a card, because 4x of a card usually means one of them is ink every game, which is part of the advantage of running 4, right? And then it's, if something's inkable. But that's where you can kind of see how things break down, right? Like 3-Pete. I went back to 3-Pete. Do I want to see Pete every game? It'd be nice. Do I need to see him in my opening hand? Not really, right? There's very, very specific matchups where I'd like prefer that. Goliath. Do I want to see him in my opening hand? Oftentimes, yeah, actually. Do I need to see him every game? Yes. Goliath is too important. Same thing with Ariel. Do I need to see her in opening hand? Yes. You don't have to have her, but having her in your opening hand allows you to set up your high roll play. Cinderella is easy for him, right? Cinderella is, you have to see her opening, right? Same thing with Sail and Tipo. You have to see them in your opening for a deck like this, right? So yeah, same thing with Bolt, right? Bolt is something I want the ability to always have an opening hand, right? So that's like a good way to think of deck building is, do you really need in your opening hand? And if not, you can maybe do a 3x. That's okay, right? And if your deck has enough draw and filter, which, you know, Sonic Boom does, right? 1x cards are actually very strong. 1x cards are powerful, but they're not required to win, right? They may end up winning you games, right? They have plenty of times before, but they're not required to win in the usual way you win, right? The usual game plan, right? So that's how I think of deck building. I hope that answers some questions. I don't know if this is right. This is my approach, right? I'm not saying this is like the only way to deck build, but it's worked out for me. So, and it's just more fun, right? I like lots of different cards. I'm a big toolbox kind of guy, so I just like having a lot of like 2-ofs and 1-ofs, and I mean, you know, look at Frank Karsten. I think Frank Karsten's got the same bug I do. You know, you just got like having a smattering of things. I really like how you built on that logic. Yeah, so 4 plus like running Tipo plus 1 jump ahead to better ensure the opening hand ramp. Yeah, for sure. Hazy with Challenger plus 2 is too good. Yeah, I mean, the Challenger plus 2 has been relevant. I've definitely utilized it before. I mean, Hades swinging for 5 has. I mean, he's taking out Milo's. He's you know, taking out Merryweather's. How do you deal with the high uninkable count? Yeah, so you know, for Blue Steel, this is a Tuesday, right? This is just another walk in the park. Basically, you just have to understand that with Cinderella, with Tipo, with Mulan, with Namari, you have a lot of ways to get rid of uninkables, right? So you just have to, like, when you mulligan your opener, you know, you want to prioritize finding inkable cards in your opener. But if you have Cinderella, you can honestly deal with uninkable cards pretty easily, right? You know, like if you can get to Cinderella, you can ink one of those uninkable cards and then draw a card. You know, you can Tipo those uninkable cards. So it's just understanding and setting up your opening hand, like mulliganing, to have the most amount of inkables, getting rid of uninkables. But if you do have a lot of uninkables, just hoping you have Tipo and or Cinderella, and then you know, prioritizing dumping those when it's appropriate. It takes some practice. It's nerve-wracking for some people. You know, many people are used to like maybe like 12 to 13 or less, right? But if you understand the curve of these types of decks, right, like ramping on 2 and then Cinderella, it's the fact that Cinderella can like eat up uninkables is really, really nice. Yo, Mal, playing any wild set champs? Yeah, I mean, I went and played one today and I won. And we're kind of talking about it. We're like digesting the set champs. Bada boom. Shasha. We got it, baby. I was actually, honestly, like, I wasn't really feeling it, right? I was like, I don't know, man. It didn't feel like it did. When I walked in today, it did not feel like a winner kind of day. However, by halfway through the day, I'm like, I think I'm gonna win today. Not only that, dude, like another sign I knew I was gonna win, by the grace of God, was I opened one of my like just kind of, you know, packs where you just, you know, it's like pack per win, right? I opened a pack, one of my first early packs, and I pulled an enchanted. I pulled enchanted. What else can I do? Which is sick. It was one of my chase enchanteds. So I actually got all my chase enchanteds. I got Mrs. Incredible, Mr. Incredible, Jack, and what else can I do? Like I got them all. I'd still like an iconic Merida, but you know, sorry, just joined. Just got to work and got the family. But yeah, man, dude, welcome. Yeah, we just been talking about it. This was the matchup spread. So, one second, I'm gonna grab a drink. I'm gonna finish this drink first. Now that I won set champs, I'm just ready to see the next set so we can figure out how we're going to play Blue Steel. Yeah. Definitely going to be a lot of cooking. You know, there's a very real possibility where if Blue Steel isn't like fun, you know, that I may play a lot more other colors, right? Like I'm the Blue Steel guy. I love being the Blue Steel guy. I love what the colors do, but I love what the colors do because what they do is fun to me, right? Like I love the colors for the characters. I love like characters like Ariel, like Jasmine, like Aladdin. I love characters like Moana and Tamatoa. Like I've always vibed with the characters that end up being in Sapphire Steel. But like I'm not above like, you know, if there's a new deck style that really fits what I love to play, that we wouldn't play that. I'm gonna still try to like really make Blue Steel like fun, enjoyable, and strong. But if it's not fun, you know, like I don't feel bad about like, you know, like changing course. I still think there's a lot of avenues. I think like the biggest question really is Cinderella. Is Cinderella still going to be good? And if she is, do we still try to set up decks with turn 2 ramp, or do we kind of commit to more standard curves until we reach Cinderella? I think those are going to be the big questions. Yeah, I dodged. No. One this guy got in top 8. Yeah, so one dogs player out of 7 got into top cut, and then he lost to yellow purple. There's an iconic merit on the line at Pulp Fiction. Yes, I'm aware. Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out if I can make that. It's hard because I think it's a Sunday, and our new Bible study time. Me and my wife, we host a Bible study for our church, and it used to be Monday nights, but we've been having a lot of house projects going on, so we're like taking a small break because it's hard to host right now, and for Bible study, just the way our family rhythm has changed, and people getting kids like us. Monday nights has been getting really hard, so we've actually like kind of taken to a vote. We reached out to other families. We're actually expanding and changing the Bible study. We're adding new members, but we're switching to Sunday afternoons, right, between like 3 and 5, which kind of basically eliminates Sunday set champs and tournaments sort of going forward. So so we'll see. And so if that's the case, and if the Merida tournament's on Sunday, like I may not be able to make it. And that's the other big reason why I've never really done Sunday set champs, is because they usually start during church. But we're going to an early service right now, and so like 9 a.m. start. And this one started at 2 p.m., so it was fine. It worked out. Let's see. Yeah, for sure. I just put together the yellow red toys. It's meh. I really hope they reprint one of them. Yeah, I'd love to see Sail reprinted. I think Tipo is too strong. I think Tipo probably stays gone. I think Tipo's the better card between the two, personally. I'm also a big Blue Steel fan. I've been playing it since set 1. Yeah. I mean, I started the game in set 4, and I've been playing it since set 4. Which matches do you feel comfortable versus uncomfortable? Definitely want to try this. Yeah, man. I'm very comfortable in the mirror. I understand it very well. I was more experienced than my opponent. Yeah, so I'm very comfortable in red purple. This is a free win. To me, this is like a 90-10 matchup. Like, I mean, you kind of have to have a stroke for them to win. I felt really good with the Blurple matchups. I'm extremely practiced into this. And honestly, today really showcased why Duels Inc. Like, I love online gameplay, right? I play a lot of duels. But it really does frame a very unrealistic view of how real games go. Like, there were actually very few games today where people got the nets, as they would say, right? Like these like dream perfect lines. Like, yeah, people got Elseft or Merryweather. Yeah, whatever. But like, it was pretty rare for people to be like Merryweather into Elsa, into Demona, sing Let It Go, into Demona again, sing Let It Go, sing into the unknown, into Hades, into whatever, blah, 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 blah. Right? Like these like perfect god tier curves that like didn't happen for anyone on like any of their decks, right? And so like the Blurple players, like both of them missed ramp, right? Both of them kind of had clunky mid games. Both of them made weird decisions. Both of them inked Demonas when I think other people would have played them. One of them played Demona when I think someone would have inked it, right? So it really goes to show how online gameplay, like the way true random shuffler gets, you actually get your like high roll plays way more than I think in real life you do, right? Like in real life, I think real life shuffling, people don't get their like optimized high roll near as much. And so duels really shows you what decks can do and what maybe even should do. But I think when it comes to paper testing, like actually playing the game, I don't think people hit the crazy openers near as much as online trains us. They think they do. Yeah, no, like today, I only maybe high rolled maybe like 4 games or so, right? Like I had to work with a lot of clunky hands, but so did my opponent, and I won out in the end, right? Because I practiced to navigate that, right? Like you just kind of learn how to get around it. 100% agree. Yes, 100% agree. Yep. Constantly hit with back-to-back Hades on duels. Yeah. Like that's the thing. Like they just always have it, right? And then in real life, that just wasn't the case. Or like or like what happens in duels is that they Hades, then Demona as their last card, right? And then they chain into another Demona, right? That just didn't happen today, right? Like my one guy that I played against, he played Hades, and then he played another Hades, and then he was top decking for like 3 turns, right? He top decked like a Basil, and then he top deck a Tipo, and then he top deck another Basil, right? And like that's life. That's what happens, right? And so, but that like seems to never happen on duels. I like the dogs matchup if they don't go super aggro at the start. Yeah. Like I think like I'm well practiced into dogs, right? Like I know, you know, when to Angel, I know when to Cindy, I know when to Tinkerbell, I know when to Namari or Pete or whatever. I will say it's consistently not a fun matchup, right? I don't enjoy playing it. And I was happy to dodge it all day. I don't know what to say. Following your Dreamborn and just getting Lorcana, what deck of yours can I target as a beginner and roll with for a bit to learn the game? Blue Steel is a tough deck to kind of just pick up and learn the game. I would recommend one of my videos if you're up for watching a video. I think it does a really good job of breaking. What is this? Breaking it down. Man, my items video did like really poor today. It's really weird. I wonder why that is. No one watched it. I guess people just don't want to watch Infinity content. Like, I don't know. Very interesting. It like did uncharacteristically terrible. Okay. Yeah, so this is, I would start here. I have other deck profiles. I think a really good Blue Steel deck for a beginner is actually my most popular list, which is this one, right? So I would check out the So You Want to Play Sapphire Steel video. I think it covers a lot of fundamentals. I'll kind of show you like a little tidbit, right? But it's kind of designed for options or like breaking things down and then giving you a bunch of lists, right? So like cards that allow you to ink additionally. So it's so it goes over like strengths and weaknesses, right? It goes over terminology if you're new to the game, right? People like when you watch videos, people are going to use like words, right? And like they're going to assume you know them, which is kind of unfair. So like it kind of covers what all these mean, right? Like ramp, filter, aggro, curve, tech, like what these words mean. It covers core concepts, right? Like what are ramp lines? What does that mean? What is a hand? How do you navigate your hand? You know, how do you navigate uninkable counts, right? And then it goes into like different ramp lines, like how would you play out certain turns for certain strategies, right? Goes into deck building, right? Like how do you build a deck in Sapphire Steel? Like how do you navigate it? And then goes like breaks down key options for deck building, right? Like ramp options, draw options, removal options, right? And then I give a whole bunch of like different samples of cards and like a whole bunch of lists. So I would start here. I think it's if your questions are not answered from this video, you know, then I failed you. But like I'm also happy to answer questions here. But I think that's a great place to like start. You know, then I failed you. But like I'm also happy to answer questions here. But whoops, sorry. If Sapphire Steel looks fun, mouse videos are incredibly thoughtfully crafted. Oh, thank you. That means a lot, sir. Are you going to Indy? Do you have an Infinity build? Yes, I am going to Indy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm mostly going to Indiana to like network and meet people. Yeah, man. Thanks for that. I mean, you know, thank you for the Prime sub earlier. I mean, that meant a lot. But yeah, I love teaching people. I love getting people to have fun in the game. I think for the next week of streaming, we just play a whole bunch of cool fun lists. I want like more stream highlights of fun, like really fun, silly decks. And then like, you know, we'll start like cooking, you know, like I really want to actually put more work into like my red purple list, maybe make a more serious version, not just a budget version. I was going to make a budget video, but honestly, like, I haven't had the time. So, we'll probably, wow, this has 2K views. What the heck? Sorry, yeah, red steel supers. Yeah, we can definitely do that too. I found red purple a little bit more enjoyable, to be totally honest. But I'm open to red steel as well. Maybe I should keep the budget version separate. I don't know. Like if I were to do, I mean, red purple is just such a weird color combo to me. Duplicate. Okay, I'd definitely add Demona. The non-budget version. She's busted. So what would we take out for that? Let's go to 2 Ednas. What else would I do to a deck like this? How much ISIS am I at? I'm at 3 out of 4. Do I need 4? I think we only go like 2 dash. I think dash is a little bit of a trap. I'll go 4 ISIS, I think, right? And then how much of this is rotation proof? Okay, Elsa and Max. Man, Maximus leaving is so sad. So sad. Do you rent books? I mean, I might have to. I think right now I'm not. I figure with Demona, Mr. Incredible, and Medallion Weights, that's like, I think that's enough draw. Okay, something we can definitely toy with. So I'll rename the other one as budget. Well, sorry, I wasn't excited. Oh no. Budget. And then I kind of want to work more on that Madrigal's list. That yellow-purple damage moving nonsense. Dude, I love it, man. This is some tomfoolery. Shadow Surreal, I think, is going to add a future core legality. Oh, interesting. Okay, let me see. I don't know if I need Horseman Strike. I mean, I feel like it's really good for green and stuff, right? I mean, this feels okay. I mean, because I think the big decision is whether we Horseman or not, right? Yeah, I think this is fine. For now, anyway. Alright, guys. Oh, nice. So I'm going to share that one yellow-purple list my friend played in finals with me. And then Yeah, so that's it. This is mostly just gonna be story time tonight, guys. I'm pretty tired, honestly. Yeah, I'm actually like kind of like starting to fall asleep. It's gonna be a busy day tomorrow. We're getting new flooring put in our office, so it's gonna. I don't even want to think about it. It's gonna be a nightmare. It's gonna be a mess. But after this week, all of our big projects will be behind us, so that'll be nice. So I'll probably start toning down the stream. Let's see if there's anyone we can raid. It was a fun day. It was a good day. Who is this? Bronson Jr.? Okay, I guess we'll raid this guy. Alright, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out.
Say what?
I will catch you on the next one. You know how it is. But I'm going to go to sleep. I'm tired. Take it easy. May you be blessed. Much love. Peace. And then for this fella we're about to raid, give him a howdy do. Give him a hello. And yeah. Take it easy.